welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Trazaeth, and this is Bug Kaito. Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, a card from Duskmourn, a recent printing, and Kaito is showing up here and there in high-power tempo decks. It's also one of the key cards in one of the defining decks of Standard, Dimir Tempo, which is built around Kaito and Enduring Curiosity as your big payoffs. A Planeswalker with Ninjutsu is a heck of a thing. It also hits like a truck. It's a 3/4 on arrival, and then you can plus to make it bigger every turn. It's a great way to pay out a bunch of 1 and 2 drop things with enters the battlefield abilities and or evasion, which this deck is full of. Tamiyo does not have an enters the battlefield ability. However, you can get 1 or 2 clues out of her and then flip her into a Kaito. We've got 4 copies of ice-fang Coatl, 2 copies of Baleful Strix, 2 flyers with a cantrip attached, and Orcish Bowmaster, a flash creature that brings another creature with it. All of these things are likely to get through in combat for various reasons, and Kaito is a great way to convert a small value creature into something that can actually win the game. One of the things about Magic design in the present day, the fire design as they call it, is that most cards can win the game, which means it's a lot harder to get complete control over an opponent. Even just 5 or 6 years ago, Baleful Strix was a viable win condition in Legacy. It would deal all 20 damage in a lot of kind of Grixis control decks, maybe a Kolaghan's Command or a Lightning Bolt, get it done a little faster, but for Baleful Strix, primary win condition in certain control decks that were at the top of the metagame. Been a long time since that was true. But the power of Baleful Strix being, just the rate on this thing is awesome. The Death Touch, the flying, the cantrip, 2 mana, pitches to Force of Will. Hard to argue with a Baleful Strix. Great against anyone who's trying to do anything in combat. And converting it into a real win con without even losing your Baleful Strix, because you should just play it again and draw another card, is pretty exciting. Filled out the deck with just the interactive cards you'd expect from a Sultai Legacy build, and Murktide Regent at the top. Just stay alive until they die. I love playing Magic like this. Let's get into it. This is Bug Kaito. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. I have a quick Tamiyo flip and the deck's signature Baleful Strix. Okay, I am not a deck that cares about Blood Moon that much. I'm a deck that cares about Chalice on 1 a lot right now. There we go. All right, my hand just got a lot worse. Let's figure this one out. I'm going to have access to my basic Swamp here, basic Island already in the grip. Boom, zooms. Bad news. Baleful Strix doesn't line up well against those. I'm also Witherbloom Command deck. One of the reasons to be green is that card. That can get me out of this. Force of Will right on time. All right, I'll get my Swamp here. And Strix will at least cantrip. Get me closer to that Witherbloom Command. Get me out of this. There are also Murderous Cut in my deck. Kaito is not bad. Stunning Broadside for 2 turns buys me a lot of time. Backup Chalice on 1. They'll probably throw... No, they wouldn't have paid 1 for it if they were going to throw it. Interesting. Why didn't you spend 0 on that? Curious. Okay, that's fine. Another force. It's getting worse, team. But I can fend off the next 2 things they do. That matters. And I have room to fetch one of my Surveil lands here. Pyrogoyf is... That's a no from me, dog. I'm going to pitch Brainstorm to that. Hedge Maze gives me my missing color. Fatal Push, I wish. Wasteland. They basically didn't do anything with their last turn, but then they hit a land drop. Do I think they're holding a 4-drop? There are 2 Surveil lands in this deck. There's a Sewers and a Hedge Maze. Alright, I'm gonna take a turn to fetch the Sewers, and, we're in that clutch situation where one big removal spell draw from me before they stick their One Ring or whatever their follow-up is might be enough to turn this game around. Okay. All right, I'm giving up on Tamiyo here. Undercity Sewers. Come on, deck. Spell Pierce. It's not you. Wasteland. Ugh. Okay, well, I will Wasteland one of these lands and probably lose now. Saw a lot of cards. None of them quite got me there. All right, land number 4 anyway. The third consecutive 4-drop. The One Ring. It's over. ice-fang Coatl. All right, let's try that. I'm not sure why they didn't just kill me with the One Ring, but I'll keep playing if you want. ice-fang Coatl. Drawing a card now. Force of Will. All right, I'm already dead. Okay. Unfortunate. What are we doing here? Hydroblast comes in. Force of Negation. I don't love Force of Negation because so many of their cards are creatures, but we did get soloed by that Chalice of the Void. And we've seen the One Ring. I don't think I want 2 of these if I want any. I have a Spell Pierce in this deck. Tamiyo is kind of slow and bad against Chalice. Ponder is kind of slow in general against decks like this. And Thoughtseize could be a bad top deck. Maybe I'll leave Ponder in and cut one of the Thoughtseizes. Consign to Memory does counter Chalice and the One Ring. I don't think that's enough to bring it in, though. I'll keep this one. When I went to 5, I'm going to play Misty Rainforest and pass. If they do nothing or nothing I can interact with here, I'll probably fetch Hedge Maze. Oh, that's interesting. The temptation to Spell Pierce that Chrome Mox was non-zero on the mull to 5. Oh yeah, got your ass. Underground Sea, Spell Pierce. That's the kind of card you keep on the strength of. Come on, Witherbloom Command. Kill that Chrome Mox. I'm gonna Brainstorm first. Okay, a bunch of birds I can cast. Put back. Definitely a land, and I think one of the Ponders. Basic Island, just in case. I don't think I need more of this kind of stuff. I already have a removal spell. I already have some random 2-drops. I'm going to shuffle this. Okay. A Blood Moon would not be the freest thing to play through here. I'm ready for Chalice. Ooh, what do we have? Pyrogoyf? Not ready for the One Ring. I'll probably lose on the spot to that shit. Okay. Pyrogoyf's fine. Deal. Just happy to get Lava Axed. Oh wow, that's nasty. Okay. Wasteland you, and then play Baleful Strix. Bang. Okay, they're going in. And I'll block. Okay, we got that trade. The next Goyf is 6/7. We just put creature and artifact in the graveyard. Okay, I'm gonna get a Tropical Island and cast ice-fang Coatl now. Arctide might have been better there. I just get so excited when I can draw cards. But you know what else is exciting? A 6-power creature against an opponent who's doing nothing. All right. They gave up anyway. All right, well, that's what a game win looks like. Now I'm on the draw, where Force of Negation becomes better than Spell Pierce, or at least worth consideration over Spell Pierce. Certainly over Thoughtseize. I think that's a safe switch. That Spell Pierce was really good. It keeps my blue count high. Force gives me additional outs to the One Ring, a card that I'm not going to be able to beat if it resolves. I just don't think Consign to Memory is what I want to do with my life. This can also counter Goyf triggers, I guess, or chapters on Fable. Okay, this does make me nervous, but I'm going to switch. Maybe it's Bowmaster, actually, keep my Ponders. Bowmaster plays through Chalice better, where I'm on the draw. Ponder's blue, where Bowmaster is black. Ponder helps me dig out of situations where I've 2-for-1'd myself twice just to stay alive, where Bowmaster is kind of a brick. Okay, I think I like my Ponder, my 4th Ponder more than I like my 4th Bowmaster. Okay, let's go. And I'm not going to go crazy with that, but just a little more, out of respect for the One Ring. Alright, Ice to Blood Moon, which may or may not still be in their deck after seeing 3 basics game 1. Witherbloom Command is the cat's ass here, if I have time to deploy it. Basic Mountain Pass. Ooh, Fatal Push. Okay. That can kill a Boomby Zooms, if it has to. Or a Magus of the Moon. Oh god, they're just turn 2ing the One Ring. We're so dead. Okay, bad news, everybody. Well, double Bowmaster is going to have to try to cheese through this on tempo damage, I guess. That's my strat now. I'm going to get the Hedge Maze. I'll keep Blue to Delta. That's access to Fatal Push or Basic Swamp as needed. I do have a lot of damage here, though. They have Ancient Tomb and the One Ring. I have double Bowmaster, double Witherbloom Command, and Kaito. I might be able to just tempo this out. That's the plan. Okay, I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp. I believe that's more important than any duels here. Bowmaster. Pingya. Pingya. My favorite actor, Michael Pingya. Chrome Mox. There was a lot of pain-free mana suddenly generated. Oh, but they're hurting themselves anyway. That's terrifying. What 6-drop is there? Chalice on 3? Oh, okay, just Hardcast Fury. That works too. Okay, my creatures are deceased. This fetch land can, once again, unlock Fatal Push if I need to do that. I don't really want them drawing more cards, but if I don't Bowmaster... If I do Bowmaster, they can kill it, then just draw cards, and I think I'm losing. If we get into a holding pattern, okay, or if they just heck and send it, that's also allowed. Inconceivable that a deck would have 2 copies of Orcish Bowmaster in it. And I'm just going face. I can't beat the ring going long. I'm not going to bother killing Fury. I have a 4/4 in play now anyway. They have continued to avoid tapping their Ancient Tomb, but they are up 6 cards. Ooh, they tapped the Ancient Tomb that time. Oh my god. What 9-drop do we have? Chalice on 1. Legal. So they are actually just dead. Hell yeah. Okay. Cool. Double Witherbloom Command is going to win this game. The burn strat taking it home. Yeah, I have a basic forest in the deck and a bayou. Also could have picked up a fetch land. Alright, target player loses 2 life, destroy target thing. Destroy Chalice of the Void, and you're going to lose 2 life. And then we're going to kill the rest of your permanents and also your life. Destroy Chrome Mox, destroy you. Heck yeah, Witherbloom Command. This is why we're splashing green. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2. I'm going to keep my hand. It needs a few more lands, but I have double Tamiyo force backup. That does stuff. Oh no, now I have no Tamiyos. Caracas? I've been cracked. In my is. Don't repeat that, children. I'm going to get basic Island. Caracas decks frequently also feature Wasteland, a card that I would love to draw. Oh baby. All of these cards are good versus Caracas decks generally. I have stuffed myself a little bit by leading on basic Island, which means I can't Witherbloom Command on turn 2, but we'll figure it out. Urza Saga. Blue to Delta. I'll play the Tamiyo. I'll make you do it. Just in case they want to cast like Felia or do something with their mana here. This is kind of Rashadan Port. Yeah, they just left it in play. Fascinating. Probably playing around Brainstorm. Okay. Mox Opal resolves. It's not on yet. If they make a construct, it will be, but that will tap them out of Caracas. Okay. You bounced me. But now they can't activate Ursa Saga. That worked out extremely well. Sometimes you just gotta find a little hole. A Witherbloom Command. I could cast this, or I could not cast this. If they want a construct, they'll have to bounce Tamiyo again. Alright, I'll play Tamiyo again. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, we got a real card out of that. Let's go. Alright, they're making a Saga. In response, I'm going to get a Forest. Do I think this is going to be a Wasteland deck? It might be. I'm going to get a Forest and a Swamp. Just playing around Pithing Needle. The Boots. Good time to have a Fatal Push. Gardens. Are we Mono White Dreadnought? That's a deck that existed at one point. I can pay Ward 1, but I'd rather just kill this. Why let them get into combat? What's the difference? I don't even know. Okay. Let's play the game now. Ooh, I love a Thoughtseize. I can do everything here. Okay. Witherbloom command. Target me. Destroy target thing. Mill myself. I think I want Mox Opal dead. If I kill Lava Spur Boots, Mox Opal's off, but that's temporary. That might be good enough, actually. Don't want any dirty surprises. I did not hit a Wasteland. I'll just take a Polluted Delta. I'll be normal. Underground Sea, Thoughtseize. Plow, Torpor Orb. Okay, this is definitely a Dreadnought deck. A second Caracas. Alright, well, good to know. I'm going to take Torpor Orb because that affects my entire deck, and I will continue taxing them with the Tamiyo. And Kaito has Hexproof on my turn, which means they can't Karak him. Alright, that's bounced. Oh, alright. I'm just going to play Wasteland and Kaito. My ninjas get larger. And I'm just going to sit on this Wasteland. Hexproof. Untap that land. I saw you try. Yeah, this is a creature with Hexproof on my turn. No Caracas, no Plow. I'm still trying. Yeah, there's a Mycosynth Gardens in play. We know they're a Dreadnought deck at this point. We've seen Urza Saga. We know there's a backup Caracas. I'm just going to hold this Wasteland until it matters. Hushbringer. I don't really want to play against this card. Is it worth Force of Will? I think it might be, actually. Because that enables Dreadnought on a board where Dreadnought sucks. And my deck's full of cantrips. I'll probably use Kaito to draw cards this turn. Attack for 4. Still trying to tap mana. There's one unknown card in the hand. If they drew Wing Shards, they got me. Okay. Surveil 2. Okay, they figured out Hexproof, yeah. They said in the chat, Hexproof. Yeah. Yep. Orienting yourself around standard cards is not always the easiest thing to do. I feel you. Alright, surveilled 2 lands, drew a land. There is some stuff I can do here. If I plus Kaito pre-combat, ninjutsu it into a different Kaito, it still gets the buff because it's a ninja, and then I can use that one's abilities. A Thalia. That card's very bad against Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. I can Wasteland Caracas right now to make sure Thalia dies, or I can just let them pick up Thalia and not care that much about it. I'm going to Wasteland the Caracas now. Or no, it's still their main phase. I'll wait till their end step. You can't float bouncing a legend, no matter how many times I joke about it. Bowmaster, take you out. I'm going to get Hedge Maze here. I have double black already. Double green could matter. Force of Will right on the top. I can cast that shit. I don't need to be clever with my Kaitos. I think just putting them on a 2-turn clock and drawing extra cards is where I want to be. Brainstorm, Force of Will. I don't need another Force of Will. I'll basically always take a Brainstorm. There's the Caracas, and they're done. All right, Kaito, coast to coast. What's up? Beating a handful of removal. That's what he's for. Okay, we're playing against Mono White Dreadnought. That's really cool. Consign to Memory looks good against their deck. Harbinger of the Seas looks good. It might be a little unconventional, but Urza Saga is a central piece of their deck, and we saw Mycosynth Gardens as well. Any kind of Fatal Push is going to be great. Tamiyo just really horrendous, actually, in a deck with as many Caracases as they seem to have. I don't like Force of Will in high numbers. We can afford to lose some of that. The Witherbloom command axis of the deck should be pretty solid here. I like Thoughtseize just fine, Spell Pierce just fine. Yeah, I'm actually going to cut another Force. Let's do it. I could bring in Cage, which keeps Dreadnoughts from coming out of Urza Saga, but my plan is to control Urza Saga. Or just kill Dreadnought with a removal spell when it shows up. Access to all my basic lands. This hand's a little wonky, but it's good enough. I'm in. If they just have a Death and Taxes open, where they're like Rishadan Ports and Thalias and Aether Vials, that could get me. There's the Aether Vial. Drew one of my 2 Force of Wills. The perfect number. Wasteland. Alright, I was about to say we haven't actually seen a Wasteland yet, but now we do. Thoughtseize, hello. Basic Swamp, get in. Thoughtseize ya. Alright, Vial in response. This is not something I can respond to with any of the things that I have. Mother of Rune's very good. Oh my goodness. Doorkeeper Thrall. I guess I better force that. Force pitching the Murktide. It's Murktide or Consign. I think it has to be Murktide here, unfortunately. Either Vial, Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I guess you can have another Vial. Okay, game got weird. These Vials are going to make my Harbingers a lot worse. That probably means I'm just going to consign the second one here. Okay, they have one card to play the game with. Island? Something that casts my Harbinger? Let's at least get that hook in. Okay, interesting. I could waste that Caracas, which might just turn on other Caracases. I'm just going to fire off on it. Now they have to play with Aether Vial. Oh no. Do we have a 2-drop or are we just goofing? Oh, actually a 2-drop and actually a good one. But no white mana to activate it. Ah! We're getting clowned. Okay, I'm at 14. Yes, that was my best draw in the entire deck. Thank you. Okay. I have to destroy Aether Vial. I guess I should target myself for a land as well. Can't kill the Mother of Runes here. I don't have double black to make it tap and then Murderous Cut over the top. Alright. Okay, target me, target Vial. I actually have lands in my graveyard already. Are they using their graveyard for anything? This Lion Sash has me mildly shook. No, it's fine. I'll target myself. Okay, bang. They might just like eat Wasteland in response. Yeah. I'll take my Misty Rainforest back and pass the turn. Gonna have to beat this Lion Sash, and this basic plane's just insane here. How do I beat a Mother of Runes? The age-old question. The answer is probably erase it. My Death Touch creatures all work here. I could spend a turn surveilling, because you don't need a basic island with Harbinger of the Seas is what you're going to cast. I need to be able to engage this thing in combat. Finding a Baleful Strix before I stick my Harbinger would be great. Right, eating out of their own graveyard, just trying to get the game over. Respectable. I'm going to get the Undercity Sewer. Don't need Polluted Delta. Do they want to waste me? They do not. Okay. Okay, now I can kill Mother of Runes. Or I could kill Lion Sash. Oh, that's tricky. The Lion Sash is the thing that's actually killing me. But if I clear Mother... Alright, I'm going to play Polluted Delta. And I'm going to Murderous Cut Lion Sash. If they just let this die because they smell a rat, that's great. And if I'm going to kill Mother of Runes, I should sequence it this way, because this sequence leaves me with the Orc Army, where if they bubble off the Orc Army, then that doesn't work. Okay, I can get my other Surveil land now. Now I need a removal spell, clear this, stick Harbinger, stabilize at 6 or 5 after I fetch. Easy block. End step. Get the other Surveil land. Come on, spells. Ponder, let's go. That fixes everything. Alright, Ponder, fix everything. That's your job. Thoughtseize, Baleful Strix, Kaito. I like all of these cards. That's not true. I don't like Thoughtseize very much. Thoughtseize could draw. Or Strix can draw Thoughtseize. I go to 3. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Blue, black. Thrall. Okay. Well, I'm not drawing a card. And I'm not stable. And now Kaito is 2 cards down instead of the top card. No! I just tried so hard to get through that shit. They probably don't attack with Lion Sash this turn. Nope. Okay. I am close to death anyway here, so I'm going to Thoughtseize. 2 Oswalds. Alright, well, that didn't help. Harbinger of the Seas. I just have to have a blocker that's a different color. Because Mother of Runes plus Lion Sash naming black before here would have just killed me. Exiling my Delta from my graveyard in their upkeep. Giving this pro what? Pro black. Okay, I will block that with Harbinger of the Seas. And then on their turn, I can play Kaito. Must block. I'm going to attack with Baleful Strix and try to double dip here. If they block, I just kill Doorkeeper Thrall. If they don't block, I ninja their ass. Alright, they didn't block. Black, blue, colorless. I have to leave up basics, because they could waste me in combat. Strix is back. Right, tap and stun target creature. I can stun the Mom for 2 turns, or I can stun the Sash for 2 turns. Yeah, I'm going to stun Mom for 2 turns and try to let myself draw a removal spell. Okay, all in. Phyrexian Dreadnought is here. And Esper Sentinel is here. Well, that sucks. Yikes. Well, Phyrexian Dreadnought certainly beats Kaito in combat. Kaito's not indestructible, just hexproof. Okay, they're changing their Thrall now. Realize that I need to draw cards to function. I guess I have to delete Kaito entirely here and then chump block and try to stay alive. They found the eject button right on time. We almost did something there. This is great magic, though. I'm having a good time. Must block. Time to draw Pernicious Deed, a card that is not in my deck. We did talk about it. I had a session with Trezaeth where we worked on this deck together, and Pernicious Deed was a card that was mentioned, just wasn't quite room for it. Okay, I'm not going to pay for Esper Sentinel. Can't afford to. I'm going to need all my mana if anything happens here. Strix into push. This doesn't beat the Mother. Okay, yep. Mother of Rune's too busted. That was a good game, though. Hey, Oswald. They've seen Harbinger now, where that basic Plains was too busy getting me. Yeah, I'm not changing anything here. Just going back in and hoping that on the play it works better. Okay, I will keep. I would love to play Bayou to hold up Fatal Push versus Mother of Runes, Esper Sentinel kind of stuff, but if it just gets wastelanded, that's pretty bad for me. Yeah, whatever. We're talking about a 4 of versus 8, 12, some huge number of cards. All right, that one's a wash either way. Ooh, okay. No longer a wash, unwashed. Call that clean in the business. I might still just play Baleful Strix while it's a cantrip. All right, cool. Ancient Den. If I had a fetch land, I think I would have Witherbloomed last turn. But without the fetch, it's just kind of risky. There's a fetch land. Yeah, I can ice-fang Quaddle plus Fatal Push here. Swords to Plowshares. All right, they're respecting Kaito. That's what I want out of opponents. All right, I'll use this now while it definitely draws a card. Murktide. A way to win the game. My goodness. End step Vial. Push this Mother before it wakes up. Vial on 1 and 2 represents instant speed Dreadnought anytime. Vial in either a Hushbringer or a Thrall plus Dreadnought. It's all there. Saga. I'm not currently prepared for that. Yeah, I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp. That gives me Death Touch. And I'm going to Witherbloom the bigger Aether Vial. And mill myself. Get a fetch land back. Lost my Tropical Island. It's important because there is only one of each duel in the deck to keep track of that. I'm going to leave up Orcish Bowmaster rather than play Baleful Strix. Because if my opponent vials in a Mother right now, that's something I'd like to remove. Though if they have Vial in Mother plus Flash in Hushbringer in response to Bowmaster, that's a lot of beats. And I can't afford to pass priority or I just lose. Do they have the full setup? Okay, they don't. That's lucky. Dodge that one. I guess they would have vialed it in on the vial onto in response to the kill, so that was pretty reliable, actually. Now I have to beat an Urza Saga. Has anyone ever beaten an Urza Saga in the history of Magic? Brainstorm helps. Okay, I'm going to start with Brainstorm and hope they don't vial in Spirit of the Lab. Okay. None of these cards beat Urza Saga. What am I worried about with Force of Will? I don't think that I am. A fetch. Get my other island. We're vialing in response. All right, this is the last card in their hand. I'm going to push this now because it also represents Dreadnought next turn. And there's no sequence where I can trick them into committing to Dreadnought and then they don't get it. Which is not how cards work. I'm going to leave back my Death Touch squad. Chipping for 1 damage here when I'm about to face down a pair of 7/7s. Doesn't seem great. We know Lava Spur Boots is in the deck. There might also be a Shadow Spear kind of thing. Boots. Boot it up. Okay, and then park in the car. Letting me go. We like Fatal Push in this house. Brainstorm. Okay, do I want Murktide here, or do I think I can just beat them with the removal that I have? I actually think I'm going to put back this Murderous Cut and try to ponder into some further action. Or I could just play this Murktide right now. That sounds great. Okay, the largest Murktide I know how to make. And pass the turn. I am gated on blue mana right now, which is something that can happen when you put this many basics in a 3-color deck. Torpor Orb. That card is frustrating, but doesn't actually change anything that's happening right now. Phone and asked in chat, no Beanstalk? Nope, no Beanstalks in this list. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. Just Coatls and Strixes. I will continue hiding my weapons. Ponder. This is still a flash death touch creature, even if it doesn't have a cantrip on it anymore. Second Murktide, not bad. Okay, if I draw Brainstorm, I would have to shuffle away cards I actually want. I will take the Brainstorm. A B-Storm, Harbinger. Are you helpful anymore? Gives me a lot more blue mana, that's for sure. Not really worried about the cards in their deck that I was mentioning earlier. The Saga already ran its course. If I put back Harbinger and Coatl, then I can play... Uh-oh. I don't think I have an untapped blue source left. I didn't account for that. Yep. It's only this. Okay. Undercity Sewers, Surveil 1. Yeah, if I had thought about that before combat, I would have done that differently. Hopefully it won't matter and it's still a 2-turn clock. Thralls and Hushbringers do fly. They do have chumps in their deck. They could represent a Vial in the end step. Ooh, they do have a Thrall. I don't think I need to respond to that. All right, one card to rule them all. Swords of Plowshares, I think, is their most annoying draw here. I'm not worried about Dreadnought or Oswald or any creature for the most part. Here come these jerks. Time to offer my Death Touch creatures on the altar of trading in combat. They were born to die. Okay. End of turn, I'm going to push this Doorkeeper Thrall. I'm just going to go for the win here. The second full-size Murktide makes the first one Fudgenormous. And we got the GGs in the chat. I'm going to attack with everything for good measure. In case they have Plow, I want to at least push some damage. Nice. All right, GGs. That was really satisfying. Magic the Gathering. Back and forth, both players doing stuff. Decks interacted with each other in meaningful ways. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
On the play in round 3, I'm going to keep my hand. Got the Coatl into Kaito game plan lined up here. Opponent went to 6. Seat of the Synod, okay. This is a lot of artifact lands in one league. Seat of the Synod decks don't typically have Wasteland in them. I'm going to fetch my Hedge Maze. Or would I rather have Sewers? I think I'd rather Brainstorm into black if I need it. But my plan is Coatl this turn anyway. Yeah, I'll get Hedge Maze. I do need land number 3 for Kaito. I'll keep it. And I'm going to pass Urza Saga, Chalice of the Void on 1. I'm going to respond with ice-fang Coatl. I'm not going to give it Death Touch, just not even part of the game here. Just in case I draw Force of Will here, the Chalice is a card I would like to interact with, probably. Alright, fine. You've got a Chalice. Let's see if Kaito can beat this Chalice of the Void. My hand's well set up for it here, unlike last game, where I just died. Okay, I'm going to fetch a basic island, and I'm going to Ninja Planeswalker. Ninjutsu. Bang. Do I want to draw a card here? If I find, if I find a Wasteland or Witherbloom Command, those are good. Dump 2 1-drops. That's easy. These constructs are going to arrive as 4/4s. That's a big show. Please cast Pithing Needle from your hand. Oh, Curie. Ooh. I'm excited. Do people believe in Dreadnought now? Or what's going on here? Why is Curie in this deck? I guess, I mean, we're representing Dreadnought next turn, so I will force pitching Brainstorm on this. Ooh, force me back. Let's go. 2 offbeat Dreadnought decks in a row. Exciting if true. Okay, Emery milled a bunch of stuff, including Zoetic Glyph, a card I must read. Enchanted Artifact is a base 5/4 Alright, so that's a combo with Kiri. I understand. Okay, Kaito wakes up. Witherbloom command. Pretty good draw. Now I can kill Chalice of the Void and mill myself. See if I spike Wasteland, which gives me a lot of options. I'm going to do all this pre-combat. Target player mills 3, destroy target permanent thing. Alright, no new lands. I'll just take a Misty Rainforest. And I do have access to Bayou, which can kill one of these creatures if it must. Okay, Misty Rainforest. I'll just attack with Kaito. They don't really have blocks. And tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. I'm going to stun Emery. And I'm just going to pass here. The Security costs 2 to activate. If they're going to get Dreadnought, then they can't make a construct. I'm going to fetch in response. I don't think I'm getting Pithing Needled here, but I'm going to play around it. It is Dreadnought time. Let's go. Okay. Curie. Right now, the card Stubborn Denial doesn't work. I don't know if that's a card they have, but I can play around it, so I will. Do they have another Force Blue card? Okay, sweet. 2 cards in their hand. Urza's Saga ran its course. Mox Amber is good for blue here. Kaito doing his thing. Emery's frozen another turn. I'm going to start with a Ponder. Another Witherbloom. I can Witherbloom the Amber and play Murktide. Does that even matter? I don't think I want these cards. I'm just going to shuffle this. Attack with Kaito. I'm going to Surveil. Thoughtseize, ice-fang, Quaddle. This I can get into. Graveyard the Quaddle, top the Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize you, find out what this last card is. It's Otawara. Oh, that's actually really good. Son of a biscuit. Why is a card good? Alright, they have exactly enough to do that. Now I can try to find a pivot. Okay, Ponder. There's that Quaddle I just put there that I don't want anymore. Shuffle. Fatal Push, let's go. I don't have a fetchable black source right now. I will pass. Oh, I have fucking Swamp in my deck. Nope, that still works. Okay, if they Otawara Kaito right now, I just play Quaddle and zap him back in. Alright, I will Fatal Push. Yeah, they might bounce Kaito in response, something that I could have played around if I remembered ahead of that Polluted Delta was the fetch that I had. But we're still okay. Still doing stuff. Still thriving. Undercity Sewer. Brainstorm. I like those. Murktide. And pass. I have Quaddle into Kaito if they can deal with this Murktide. And if they can't. So I am threatening lethal here. Cool. Alright. Little wonky at the end there, but I like it. I also like 2 off-meta Dreadnought decks in a row. Completely different strategies. What's up, Legacy? The other day on the channel, I played against Eldrazi 4 times in a league, and then there's this. This is so much better. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage stops Emery. It also stops Dreadnought from coming in off Saga. Cage might be enough here with the Emery as a tiebreaker. I don't like Harbinger of the Seas. I probably do like some number of Consigned to Memory. Tamiyo's better here, but it's still a Chalice of the Void matchup. They're a blue deck as well, which makes Force of Will less reliable than last round. I think I might cut one of the Quaddles. Yeah, I like the removal. I like Kaito. Bowmaster's better here than it was last round. This is what I'm going to do. Oh no. The cursed manaless hand. In 1997, you would have to keep this because Wasteland's in it. I'm glad we've left that world. Okay, this hand is fine. I'm going to bottom Force of Will. That's just the worst card in my hand, and I've already mulliganed. Lava Spur Boots. Aether Spellbomb. Okie dokie. Tamiyo. Well, that gives me something to do. I'm going to get Underground Sea. I'm going to ignore green mana for a minute, because my hand is currently blue and black, and colorless. Emery. And giving Emery haste could immediately draw a card, which playing Grafdigger's Cage would have played around. But that's okay. The damage isn't too bad. Okay, that happened. You got me. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage again. I'm going to attack first. That's definitely happening. I can't get Revolt and pay for Ward and just kill Emery. Not an option. Okay, I'll play Grafdigger's Cage and hope they Force of Will it, because I have another one. They didn't fall for it. Take them off blue, take them off 2. Or just hold the Wasteland. I'm going to play the Sewer and hope I don't die. There's access to green on the Mega Slow. I'll put that on top. I'm playing for the Mega Slow, so sure. Curie. Well, they can boot that immediately and draw 1 card. It's still, you draw cards equal to the base power, even if it has 2 power. That's not what base power is. Okay, I could play Wasteland, or I could play Hedge. I'm going to play Hedge Maze, and then I think not attack. Ooh, I like Thoughtseize. Let's build a long-term plan here. If they Spellbomb Tamiyo in the end step or at any point, I'll push Curie. And if they shove on a Dreadnought, I have push as well. Thought Monitor, gross. Yeah, that makes sense to be in there. I'm not ready for it. Mox Amber is going nuts. I wonder if this deck even has... Oh, no, we literally saw a Dreadnought last round. We don't need to wonder. We know. Okay, this feels like a turn that's going to be really hard to come back from. Insole Artifact also here. Ooh-wee. All right. Gassing up Seat of the Synod. This is the most aggressive use of Curie I've seen, and I'm into it. All right, I'm going to block Curie, and I'm going to push this land. Okay, take 1 damage from this combat. Not bad. Drawing Thoughtseize. What's left over there? Backup Curie and Seat of the Synod. Okay, so we're approaching something resembling stability. Vaguely. I think they're supposed to move Lava Spur Boots onto one of the Thought Monitors, because right now I can block the Ophidian and save the same amount of damage. I mean, if they want to start exiling other Thought Monitors. Okay. So that makes it 3. I can cut this now. I cut that, pay the ward. They can bounce Spellbomb to save their Curie. Alright, cool. Fun combat again. Tenuously stable. But, I mean, I'm not stable. I'm losing. They are clocking me. But I can dig out. Force of Will is certainly not it. Alright, I'm going to draw a card with my clue. It's time. This will flip Curie, or flip Tamiyo, whoever you are. In that case, I might as well attack if I'm doing that. I think I would rather ponder and leave a clue behind. There we go. Fatal Push. Exactly what I'm looking for. Do not shuffle. Plus Tamiyo. The Fatal Push is interesting versus the Curie, because A, it doesn't work, and B, if they eat Thought Monitor, it doesn't cost 3 anymore, or 2. Yeah, the ward has me beat here. I would have just main phased that Fatal Push. Saga. Been sitting on this Wasteland the whole game waiting for a real target. Okay. Thought Monitor does have base power 2. If they just ignore Tamiyo and hit me. Again, it doesn't matter how much damage it does. The base power of this card is 2. Tormod Script, okay. I don't mind that one. Though I guess it does actually beat my Tamiyo minus right now. Okay. I have to beat a 7-drop with Ward 1. Baleful Strix plays here just fine. Okay, Brainstorm. Hull Breacher, chill! Alright, Hull Breacher resolves. Wasteland your Urza Saga. Fatal Push Hull Breacher. Okay. Tormod Script in response to that. Fatal Push. Brainstorm. Witherbloom Command. Don't need another Grafdigger's Cage. And I do need to shuffle my deck. Force of Will looking pretty bad. Misty Rainforest. I don't think this fetches a black source. No, I have Bayou in the deck. Alright, we're good. We're alive. What does Witherbloom Command even do? It can kill Lava Spur Boots and gain me 2 life. I think I'm going to mill myself so I have more options with Tamiyo next turn. Okay, mill myself. Destroy Lava Spur Boots. Get back Misty Rainforest. Okay, it's tight. This natural base 2 power Curie doing the most right now. Another Saga. The Tormod Script did effectively handle that. I'm going to take 1 and they're going to go up to 3 cards in hand. Force of Will. I'm so sick of seeing this card. Okay, we've seen Hull Breacher in the deck. That doesn't mean I can afford not to Brainstorm, though. Okay, Brainstorm. Fatal Push. Put back Misty and Force. Fetch. Should I start getting basics just in case Coatl shows up? Is it possible that we can grind that deep? All right, I will get a basic. I will Brainstorm. Orcish Bowmaster, a very good card that's still in my deck somewhere. There's one. All right. Put back Verdant Catacombs, and I guess it's Fatal Push. Okay, plus Tamiyo and pass. We have something resembling a plan now. And now they have to think about Tamiyo. 4 cards in hand is a lot, though. Shadow Spear. Gross. That lets Emery get through in combat. It doesn't change base power and toughness. Okay, Shadow Spear resolves. Okay, they're going after Thought Monitor. Curie Thought Monitor. Second Amber. They're trying to keep mana up for something here. They are putting damage on Tamiyo. Interested in treading water, suddenly. They don't draw cards for that. If that's the case, I'd rather crack my Clue token right now. Okay. I could get back Witherbloom Command, which can kill Shadow Spear and mill me, try to hit my other Wasteland. Or I could plus and hold the fort. Okay, I'm going to plus and try to put them in that spot again. End step Construct, 7/7's real big. Okay, I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp in response here. I doubt they play 2 Lava Spur Boots. Mishra's Bauble, okay. 3 cards in hand, and they've had 3 cards in hand for a long time. Could definitely just lose this game here. They're attacking me and Tamiyo. I'm going to Fatal Push the Construct token. Doing this before blocks, because if they Force of Will something this turn, I prefer it be Fatal Push to Orcish Bowmaster. Okay, there's the Force of Will. That's fine. Now I can play Bowmaster. And I can still block. Opponent goes to 3 temporarily. They'll be back up to 5 after combat. I continue treading water versus Tamiyo. Big draw. No, I hate Force of Will so much. Okay, Tamiyo's going to have to do something other than plus this turn. Witherbloom Command can kill Shadow Spear, but that's not my problem right now. I probably just have to minus on a Brainstorm and hope to find anything that does anything. I actually do get mana off Tamiyo if I get back Witherbloom Command, but that's not the problem. Okay, I'll get Brainstorm and YOLO. Try to hit 3 removal spells right now. Kaito. That doesn't fix anything. I can lock down one of these. I guess lockdown plus block is a play. All right. Well, Kaito might help. Put back Misty Rainforest and Force of Will. Play another Misty Rainforest. Play Kaito. Kaito actually doesn't help here if they use their Shadow Spear correctly. I just have to hope they don't. Tap and stun this. And I'll pass. I'm going to feel silly dying with Consigned to Memory in my hand. Dying to Shadow Spear when I could have consigned it. At the time, it didn't seem that important, but also like dying to the 2 constructs when I could have consigned the construct trigger on the Saga. I think I was just hoping for too much out of my deck here. Okay. Game 3. Wow, that Curie was awesome. Okay, I spent the whole game drawing Force of Wills that I was mad about. I'm going to switch one to a Consigned to Memory. Get another Coatl in here as well. All right, Force of Will, you're out of here. And this is how I'm going to play it. Okay, game 3 on the play. Very nervous about Chalice of the Void here, but I am going to keep Island Ponder, am I right? Okay, sick. That is just about perfect. I think I'd rather have Bowmaster early and Strix next. Ancient Tomb. Oh yeah, we're in. It's happening. Opal. Okay, pass. Now I wish I had played Baleful Strix, but this is what we set up. They do know my deck has Orcish Bowmaster in it. And Soul Artifact. Tilt. Well, that's really big. Either Spellbomb, countered, got him. Okay. Moral victory. Okay, Bowmaster. I am going to absorb damage here. I'll ping their Noodle and then block. Baleful Strix going to be an MVP right now. Strix. Be even more valuable if it draws a land. It drew a second Strix, but much worse because it doesn't have Death Touch. I am going to chip shot with Bowmasters here. Them being on this Ancient Tomb for mana setup. Oh yeah, here they come. I'm going to block the one that's harder to replace, which is the Seat of the Synod. Like Mox Opal, they might be just holding another, like that is a legendary permanent that they're going to have to think about. I am going to fetch a basic and start setting back up for the possibility of Death Touch on my Coatls. Ninjutsu! Opponent's at 9. I'm going to stun your Mox Opal for 2 turns. Okay, can we do it? Big Kaito to the rescue. There's a Saga, concerning. Kaito wakes up. Second Bowmaster. I like that. I'm going to attack first. I'm going to do the Surveil and draw, I think. That plays into Hull Breacher, a card that I don't want to play against, but alright, if I find a land here, it's too good. Okay. Top. And I will pass. Opponent's at 6. I got multiple points of flash damage. Okay, Bowmaster, jump in. Okay, that was worth a Force of Will. We love to see it because we got more. More where that came from. Basic Swamp. Opponent goes to 4. Oh, we got the GGs. Yeah, you can't tap Ancient Tomb to make the blocker. I have 5, maybe 6 attacking power. Another insane just hurl, tempo, and direct damage at an Ancient Tomb gamer game. That's the second time that's happened this league. Wow. Okay. Great magic. Let's go. Next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I am on the draw in round 4. Unfortunately, this hand cannot be kept. Gonna mulligan. Basic Forest is just really bad in this deck. It is necessary both because of our sideboard plan and the inclusion of ice-fang Coatl, but you basically never ever want to see it unless you fetched it on purpose. And that's why. It's pretty close to a colorless land in the deck. Opponent's got a really cool looking basic island. The old Kaito in the sauna basic island. Did they know? Did they know? Hopefully I can put Kaito's shirt back on and get him into the red zone. Bang. There he is. Okay. Opponent fetched a basic swamp, cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm, so we're against some sort of reanimation tempo deck. Okay. Reanimating Troll of Khazad-dûm is not the worst thing that could have happened to me. Not going to say I'm happy about it, but could have been worse. I'm going to attack with Tamiyo. I don't actually want to flip Tamiyo because I want to ninjutsu Kaito next turn. So I'm not going to cast this Brainstorm if I can avoid it. Yeah, I'm just going to pass with basic Swamp available, probably crack my Clue token, and then move on with life. They fetched up an Underground Sea with a second Troll of Khazad-dûm. Here we go. What if they pick this up for Kaito? Do you think they're telling the truth with this themed island? Who's in the swamp? Oh, it's Tiny Bones. Cool. Foundations is such a banger. Entomb. Uh-oh, it's getting worse here. Now I am worried about a reanimate, and I would have to brainstorm for an answer to it. Okay, well, I guess Tamiyo's flipping anyway, despite my best efforts. And then we lose. Okay. GG. Surgical Extraction and Grafdigger's Cage come in. I think Carpet of Flowers is good enough for the tempo half of the deck. I like Thoughtseize. Witherbloom Command does very little for this matchup. This is just not one where there's going to be a lot of targets. They might have like an Orcish Bowmaster or something. It can kill Animate Dead, but by then the damage is done. I'm going to shave a Coatl. A Coatl can hang, and I'm going to shave 2 Force of... No. Okay, I'm going to mess around here a little bit. I would like to shave 2 Force of Wills. However, the Reanimator deck, the backup plan is worse now after Grief and Frog. They've hit 2 cards out of it. The Reanimation combo plan is as good as it's ever been. It's plan B now that's worse. So it's more important to survive that turn 2, turn 3 moment. And with respect to that, I think I'm going to leave in 3 Force of Wills. I could cut a Murktide. Okay. I'll try that instead. I mean, it's not the prettiest hand I've ever seen, but it is pretty resilient versus a fast reanimation. And Tamiyo's no slouch. I basically just need a black source, and then we're playing the game. Or a Brainstorm. Another Force, not really what I wanted. I'm getting my clue, and I'll pass. I can pay for a daze if we end up in a fight here. They now know I'm on a 1-lander, which they should be able to deduce means my hand is full of action. Dumped an Animate Dead. Smart. They just played a land and passed. If they Fatal Push or Bowmaster right now, that would be kind of annoying. Okay, that didn't happen. They were just fetching. I found a land. It's enough to play the game, even though it's an ugly tap land. It casts my Coatl, it activates my clues. It gets another look at a black source. I'm actually going to keep this on top, even though I don't like it in the matchup, because I have Force Blue card. Another Force Blue card just gives me another round. Wow, Tainted Indulgence, let's go. Right in Legacy. People are just doing all sorts of cool stuff, trying to figure out what Psychic Frog should be now. They did discard an Atraxa. Reanimate target Atraxa. Surgical Extraction. Or like Surgical Atraxin, am I right? Am I right? Force Pitching Brainstorm. Force Pitching Force. There's another Force on top, but I might still use Coatl. Oh my god. We're indulging again in response, trying to find more action. Discarded a Wasteland. I'm happy to see that go. And the hand is 2 Animate Deads, Ponder. We've got 1 Archon of Cruelty still in here, 2 Bowmaster, good to know. The 4 Trolls. Is there really no, like, large juke going on here? I just have to beat this Archon of Cruelty, and their deck barely functions. Interesting. Yeah, there's no Barrogoyfs or Dothy Voidwalkers or anything of that sort. Okay. Exciting. And I'm drawing another Force of Will right now. All right, I'm gonna crack a clue. Cage. Wow, that almost shuts down their life. That means I don't have to fight over Entomb. I'd prefer if they didn't just rip Entomb here, but I will survive the turn if they did. Ponder's fine. Wasteland would be obnoxious. Bowmaster is like a thing I have to respect a little. Okay, they did draw Entomb. That was off Ponder, so I could get the Arc. No, alright. I will just force this. Yeah, alright. That's the responsible thing to do. I have to force something this turn, and I might as well leave the Archon in their deck where they could draw it. What a find. This deck's really good. I'm certainly not tilting off or enraged. This is just what the deck does. Tamiyo, attack. I'm going to play Grafdigger's Cage first. Fetching in response. Undercity Sewer. Wow, they dumped Brainstorm. What card is better than Brainstorm when you're about to be locked under a hate piece? So their hand is 2 Animate Deads right now. Okay, they Entombed a Reanimate, so they're just getting bad draws out of their deck with that Entomb. Fair enough. They Bayou. Next turn I can actually flip Tamiyo and present something that will eventually win the game. Okay, they've had enough. So they basically just didn't juke. They barely sideboarded at all. That doesn't mean that's going to be the case again. That game did involve all 3 of the Force of Wills I left in. Should I take any information from that? I think I'm going to cut a Fatal Push for a Force of Will back in. Now I'm on the draw, things are even worse, and having seen their sideboard plan, which is just like 2 Orcish Bowmasters, I don't need 4 Fatal Pushes in my deck. Consign to Memory does counter Animate Dead, the trigger after it resolves. It can stop Atraxa from triggering, where Baleful Strix and stuff become a reasonable answer to it. Do I want something like that over something like one of the Fatal Pushes? Do I want a Murktide Regent back in? I think I'm going to try one consign, just up my interaction. I would definitely keep this with Underground Sea. I'm going to try it. I don't like it, but basically any land I draw is a good one. If I find a blue source immediately, we're cooking. Moment of truth. Okay, Bayou, pass. Thoughtseize. Well, that tells all my secrets. I suspect I'm going to lose Force of Will here, and then lose the game shortly after. And this is just the story that Combo Tempo writes. Like, this is the book that they're trying to play out of. I would never keep this hand versus a Wasteland Tempo deck. Like, if this was Delver, I would have shipped that immediately. But having access to the Force of Will and the upside of my next land is pretty good versus this deck that can just kill me on turn 2. It's like, you gotta have some respect. And now I'm just losing. And step B-Storm. And cycle to Troll. I think I'm going to discard ice-fang Coatl. That just seems like the worst card in my hand right now. Fatal Pushes are at least 1 mana spells. If I draw a land, they could kill something like a Bowmaster. There's the Sewer they just trolled for. Don't want a Swamp. Oh my goodness. Alright. I'm going to discard a Fatal Push now. Okay. Suddenly in my end step, they have access to Entomb. Dumped an Archon. Yep. Alright. GG. You could say I should have mulliganed that anyway. But if they had just sent it, if they just had like a 1-lander with Daze and just sent it, my hand would have been great. But they had Thoughtseize plus Wasteland, which made it look really bad. Even if they didn't have the Wasteland, like I drew Thoughtseize. I mean, it's turn 5, but it would have stripped the reanimate at least. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to mulligan that. But that is a weakness of trying to do everything with your mana base in deck building. Like, if this Bayou is just an Underground Sea or a Tropical Island, and the deck simply doesn't have Bayou in it, then I cast Ponder and things get smoother, at least. It is nice to have access to Bayou sometimes. That has come up in the league, but you could probably actually do the math, the proper sweaty work, and figure out if you can afford a Bayou, 2 Wastelands, and a basic Forest in this deck. And if you were going to call one of those things, it would be the Bayou. Okay, noted. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in the final round. Positive records locked, playing for that bread and butter 4-1. I'll keep my hand. This is solid in any sort of fair matchup. If we get combo dumpstered, we get combo dumpstered. I'll keep Fatal Push, help shore up those fair matchups. A Savannah, that's a good sign. Exploration, just don't Wasteland me with it and we'll be okay. Caracas, wow, alright, cool. Okay, I'm going to fetch up a basic Swamp and cast Witherbloom Command and mill myself for a land. Destroy target non-creature non-land permanent. Target player mills 3 and does stuff. We love seeing exploration when we keep a double Witherbloom Command open. I'm going to take Pluto Delta over Undercity Sewers, though I'm immediately not sure if that was correct. I already have a fetch land. Yeah, I probably should have taken Undercity Sewers. Green-White Depths doesn't usually play exploration, so I do think this is lands, which might be a difficult deck for me to defeat. And immediately regret not taking Undercity Sewers as my opponent plays Maze of Ith and passes. Crop Rotation, wish I could force it, don't have one of those. Well, I have it, but I don't have a blue card. Got Wasteland, so are they going to try to lock me here, or what's up? Do they have the Loam ready to go? Talon Gates with no target. Okay, yeah, they're in weirdo mode over there. Free Strider Lookout. Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Okay. So this card is very good. The Wasteland will commit a crime. I'm going to float blue. This Wasteland will turn on my Fatal Push. And they did flip a Rishadan Port for freezies into play. Thoughtseize, okay. Their hand might be 3 lands. Okay, literally the opposite. I'm going to take Crop Rotation, that's what I'm worried about here. And a Sphere of Resistance Mox Diamond. They have very little going on right now. And I need to find something to do before they find something to do, because neither of us are currently doing anything. I can kill that shit. Tabernacle or whatever. All right. Weird game. And we're also going to see something that doesn't come up very often in Legacy anymore, is how when you play around Wasteland, you play into Rashadenport. Like the two things are directly related. I'm not even convinced I care about this Sphere of Resistance, but I think I do enough. Might as well use the card that I have. Pick up Hedge Maze. I have green set up now. Yeah, I don't need that much green in the main. I've cast all my green spells already. Oh no, I still have Quaddles. This is an important turn for them to not do anything. Okay, that counts as not doing anything from this position. Porting me makes my turn easy. That's just Undercity Sewers. Ponder, let's go. Let's find a card that draws a card, and then we draw more cards. If the top of my deck is just like 3 ice-fang Quaddles, I'm in business. They just milled a life from loam. Now we're dead. I don't know what my sequence out of that is. I guess I just like hit them with something large. I could play Kaito right now, or I could Quaddle into Kaito. Do I have to pay for Kaito with Tabernacle? I guess it would become a creature immediately at the start of my turn, which includes the untap step. Yeah, I think I do have to pay for Kaito. That's annoying. Okay. It's annoying, but fair. I do want these cards, all of them. I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Will I have quadruple blue next turn? Yes? Okay. All right, I'll take the Quaddle now. Play Underground Sea. And I guess the Wastelands are going to jack me up pretty good. I don't think I care about taking this Mox Diamond, even though they are going to get to deploy it basically for free. Oh, good. Ghost Quarter. All right. Yeah, them finding that life from the loam. I think they found that like 1 or 2 turns too early. I could Force of Will it, but that... Oh, if I Force of Will, draw Kaito, pitch Kaito. Oh, that might be a plan. All right, here we go. Blue-green. Draw Kaito. Force this pitching Kaito. This gives me a turn to hit with deploy Murktide, and that might be able to smash them. Or no, there's fucking Mezavith in the graveyard. All right. Probably not. Okay, use my forest to pay for this. They're going to port one of my Underground Seas. Drawing Murktide Regent. Attack. My deck does have Wastelands in it. Yeah, the Mezavith, the double, the Wastelands and the Ghost Quarter, they can even eventually lock me out of the basics that I play a large number of. Wasting my Bayou. It's gone. Keeping my creatures. I'll push my 1 point somehow. Drew the last fetchable non-basic in my deck. Alright, I don't want to do this anymore. We can go to the sideboard. Harbinger of the Seas, Force of Negation are cards that I like. Surgical Extraction plays. Witherbloom Command's good. Force of Will is medium to bad. Force of Negation exiles Loam, which is why I'm more interested in it. They'll probably have Swords to Plowshares after board, which answers Harbinger of the Seas. Tameo is a potential win condition, except not really, because if I have my deck but don't have any lands, it doesn't matter. Thoughtseize is pretty bad. Oh, Fatal Push even worse. Though we did see that stupid thing that they had, whatever that was. All right, I think I'm going to cut a Fatal Push for another Force of Will. And I'm going to play it like this. I got to do damage a lot harder than I did. I also need to fade the nuts. Okay, keep this. Fade these nuts. I have Harbinger. I have Force that can protect Harbinger. If I turn 2 Strix, I do have to expose myself to Wasteland to get there. I'm going to dump this Brainstorm. I just want to hit land drops naturally. Between Sphere and Wasteland. Just got to respect it. Just going for it immediately. Hey, I drew the card I was going to fetch. Murktide Regent into the graveyard. Hate to see it go. Come on now. Okay. This is why I dug for lands up front. Just wanted to hit them naturally, banned everything that was not a land, because what if they open on double Wasteland? And Rashadenport, and Ghost Vacuum. Okay, Ghost Vacuum's not really what I'm worried about here. Bowmaster's alright. I'm going to go blue-black basics here and cast a Strix. I took a Brainstorm, Swamp, Strix. hit land number 3. Now if they either don't port me or misunport, I'm gonna Harbinge them. Caracas. Going after my blue. I'm just gonna play Bowmasters and add damage to the board here. I like having these extra blue cards around for force. And I have my land drop, not in a hurry to Wasteland or Brainstorm. I'm gonna get Underground Sea and Thoughtseize here. This does expose me to Wasteland in a way that I don't love, but they've used 2 of them already. Endurance, Maze of Ith, Urza Saga. I'm going to take the Swords to Plowshares. Okay, I'm doing damage now. There's the Saga. And now when they port me in my upkeep, I'm going to Brainstorm and hope there's a land in my top 3 cards. And if there's not, I'm going to be super annoyed. Okay, Brainstorm. Get me. All right, we did it. Put back Bayou Brainstorm, because I still have a draw step coming. I'm going to draw this Brainstorm. All right, they're going to suck it away first. Draw the replacement. Fetch for Tropical Island, jam the Harbinger, and then just hit them for 5 a few times. Okay, bang. Let's get it done. Maze of Ith, LOL. My own Wasteland. Now I have Hardcast Forces available. They get 2 more draw steps this game. I will force a Mox Diamond if they play one. Basic Force is in. 1 draw step to rule them all. Has to beat 2 counterspells. This Ghost Vacuum going nuts. Cool. Okay. Now on the draw for game 3. Getting that peak with Thoughtseize was nice. That doesn't mean I want more of them. Yeah, they definitely thought I'm way more graveyardy than I actually am with the Endurance and the Ghost Vacuum. I'm not a Beanstalk deck. I'm not a Loam deck. I'm not a Neuro deck. But I do look like all those things. Okay, I'm just going to submit this same 60 again. After some consideration. Think like toggling the number of Tamios for forces or getting that other Thoughtseize in are considerations. I don't think I need or want to do those things though. I'll keep this hand. It's soft against Sphere of Resistance. Good against most other things. Including Ghost Vacuum. Look at all these basics. I do need a basic Swamp to continue with my life. There's one. And a Force of Will on top of it. A Wasteland that will not find a target this game. Unless this game goes really long. Snow Swamp, Baleful Strix, Threatening Kaito. Wasteland, always nice to have a couple of those around versus lands, so you can pick off that Maze of Ith when it's time. Choke. Well, I'll be countering that card. You better believe it. Even though I'm pretty solid against it, all things considered. Alright, Forest. Sad I didn't just jam a Harbinger here, but that was not available to me. But I do have something that hits pretty hard. And I'll do the Surveil and draw. Thoughtseize Witherbloom. I don't think I care about Witherbloom Command. I might want to Thoughtseize them. Alright. Let's go. Kaito, get it done, buddy. I need you. Exploration. Boseiju. Second choke. Alright, we're playing without islands here. But that might be okay. Thoughtseize this 2-card hand. What's going on over there? Are there any spells left? Oh, both Free Strider lookouts. Yeah, I'll take one of them. And do I just want to plus and deal damage? I think I do. And oh, this is a crime, isn't it? All right, fine. Okay, I was about to say I might fetch before they can commit a crime, but I don't know if that's actually possible. There's Lookout. I can kill it. Bajuka Bog is a crime. Let's see if they are heads up enough to Ghost Vacuum here. Good, they weren't. Get Bayou and cut this thing while I still have gas in the tank. Okay, they have a Free Strider Lookout trigger and then they're Hellbent. And it's Kaito versus the world. Ancient Tomb, okay. There is a Wasteland target now, if they want to go for it. Or yeah, just going in. Surgical's nice. Ninjas, just plus them up. Is there a land they could play right now that would ruin my life? Okay, I attack for 5, 6, 7 next turn. Trying to determine if playing this Baleful Strix is worth it. I think I am going to run out this Wasteland just to kind of put a lid on what could happen to me here. Like, what if they mulch into Thespian Stage Dark Depths? I got that covered now. Okay, they can Ghost Vacuum only as a sorcery. They did have the mana to do it here. Spell Pierce. Okay. Okay. Ninjutsu Emblem. Attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they can't tap Ancient Tomb. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. Can Kaito carry the day all by his little lonesome? We got the GGs in the chat. Coast to coast with Kaito for a 4-1 result. Well, if we were trying to showcase Kaito Bane of Nightmares, we certainly did it in this league. I'm not sure this deck is constructed perfectly. I think you could probably play 3 Tamios so they're not stepping on each other. I'm not convinced we can actually support Bayou with all the other colorless lands in the deck that wants to start on blue. Like I mentioned a few of those things, but in terms of the game plan of play some evasive or value engine dope and then turn it into Kaito, we did that a lot. Also, just at some point you have 4 mana and you can cast Kaito, and it works that way too. And Kaito won me outright several games this league, and also was the thing that kept me alive to possibly win games that I lost to. Like that one against the blue Curie deck, where Kaito showed up in the super late game and I was already pretty far behind and gave me at least a fighting chance in a game that I had otherwise lost. Definitely big showcase of this guy, came in big the whole time. I might fiddle with the interaction, like even just making 1 fatal push into Sheoldred's Edict. Those are the sort of things, like is ice-fang Coatl actually better than Baleful Strix on the 4-2 split? Leaving up mana to flash something in, like the Bowmasters, the Coatls, we also play Spell Pierce, flash it in, get them with Kaito. It was the wisdom of the 4-2 split in favor of Coatl. But we rarely had 3 basics in play, and if that's something we don't have to worry about so much, then your mana gets a lot better. Maybe 3-3 to start, maybe just 4-2 the other way, maybe it's 4-4, and our deck's just totally different. 4-4 is actually a lot, don't do that. But yeah, this is a totally viable Legacy Magic the Gathering deck. You can tune it for your metagame and tune up the mana a little bit, but this shell is here. Trazaeth. Really sweet deck, really rewarding gameplay, and a solid record to boot. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.